Welcome, everybody. I'm Scott Patton, your host, and joining us as usual is Martin Patella, health coach at Life Enthusiast. How are you doing today, Martin?
Lots of friction in my life today, if I really am honest.
Yeah, well, we're going to, I always find being of service helps improve my mood, and hopefully at the end of this, it'll improve yours.
Yeah.
We had a question.
That's an awesome statement, Scott. This should be highlighted. When you get out of your head and start thinking of others and doing for others, undoubtedly and every time, you'll be better off for it. Wallowing in self-pity is one of the worst meditations I know of.
Yeah, I know a friend of mine, he goes down to the food bank and serves lunch once a week and twice a week when he's feeling bad. And he says, just makes him, the appreciation of everybody and the experience just really helps.
Yeah.
So from our Fibro support group, Deanna had this post, which I wanted us to talk about. She goes, I'm new to this group. I recently joined because I hope to learn more about those struggling with this disease rather than cold statements of facts from those that claim to be informed but do not know the struggle firsthand. And that's all.
Is that the whole question?
Yeah, there's no question in there.
Okay. Well, so for starters, Scott and I started this group based on a very rich experience of wading through crap up to our waist for years. Each one of us had a path that included plenty of trouble and pain. Human condition, I don't know. I think it visits everyone. I think we have two choices. Either we overcome or we succumb.
You actually remind me of Tom Hanks. While he's still not in anybody's bad books, I think I'll tell the story. He was in an office building and he got on the elevator to go up, and the cleaning lady with a mop and bucket came on at the same time. And they're standing there as they're going up. And I guess there were other people around. And she looked up at him and said, "What's it like at the top of the mountain, Mr. Hanks?" And he says, "Doesn't matter where you are on the mountain, same old shit."
Very well put, Mr. Hanks. Yeah.
So we all have issues and problems.
The meditation from Buddhists, they say, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water.
Carry water. Yeah.
Anyway, so let's just say welcome to the group. You've come to a place where at least the founders have the intention of educating and informing and improving the lives of others, which, by the way, isn't that easy in this world, because the way the health care, if I may call it that, system is set up is that it favors the owners of the platforms. And the owners are the people with money. And so in such way, we now have a system that favors treatment over cure. It favors continuous small maintenance changes rather than resolution of the original cause. So in the allopathic mainstream medicine, you will always find that the diagnosis and treatment with a pharmaceutical drug is the method. Whereas in the holistic, the word root cause resolution is bandied about. The other thing that's bandied about is biological individuality over statistics. The mainstream likes to practice medicine by the numbers. They send you for a test, and based on the test, they will determine that such and such is with you and just treat the numbers, not you. So that's probably your experience, where you are talking about the experts are going to give you the cold facts. Well, the cold fact is that if you stay in the hands of the mainstream, you're going to have some prolonged not very wonderful experience. You have
Yeah.
to figure out the root causes and resolve them. We talk about toxicity, malnutrition, stagnation, and trauma as the major blocking factors that are preventing your autonomic, or no, let's call it different, your homeostatic system in your body to build health. So when you remove the blocking factors, the natural tendency of the body to be well will actually rise to the surface. What do you get from this, Scott?
Yeah, I think the thing that keeps getting missed is the body heals, right? So we want to put ourselves in a position where we can allow our body to heal. And,
Yeah.
often we talk about like rest, and my liver stopped, my pancreas got inflamed. And they said to me, the only way that your pancreas is going to get better is if it has total rest, which means no water, no food. So I chewed on ice cubes, and the water from the ice cube got to about here, and then it just sort of was absorbed into the throat. Like it never went any further down for days and days and days, right? And I always remember that, because it's like, that's not what everyone is sort of told, right? Typically, everyone has said, okay, we have this drug, try this drug, try this drug, try this drug. And it's a bit of an experiment, because they don't know if the drug will work or not work. And usually what happens, what we've seen a lot of from members of the group and other places, is you try this drug. Well, it's don't feel quite as painful, but I have a headache. Oh, well, here's a drug for your headache. Okay, my headache's sort of gone, but my
I have palpitations. Yeah,
I have palpitations, or I'm short of breath.
So let me just butt in with this. Your headache is not caused by a deficiency of Tylenol or Excedrin. Your breast cancer was not caused by deficiency in tamoxifen. Get that, okay? So when you take a drug, a prescription drug, something that's not food, when you take those, they are actually preventing the normal expression of your body's systems to do what they want to do anyway.
Right.
One more line. It's difficult to fix a problem caused by toxicity by adding toxic things into the mix. That's what Scott was trying to say.
Yeah. And the other part of that is, if you took 10 years to get to this situation, to expect a week from now to be out of it is unrealistic. So we've often dug our graves with our forks, and we've lived in toxic environments. We have trauma that we haven't dealt with. Oh, I don't want to, I don't want to look at that bad stuff that happened to me when I was a kid, or happened to me last week. And so you have to clear out that trauma. You have to detox. You have to eat good food. We eat ultra processed food that is really just like good tasting cardboard in terms of the nutrition that it has in it. And we don't get enough exercise. It's hard to get a lot of exercise when you're 50 pounds overweight, or your knees are so sore you can barely walk. But you have to start doing some things, whether it's just stretching, or like there's some sort of movement that you can do. You might have to go on YouTube and look for things, right? IG, right? But you need to start turning that around. Like you're in a downward spiral, and it's going to take a while for the downwardness to stop, and then for you to start going up. And I think what happens with a lot of people is they get discouraged because, well, I was told to drink water, and maybe water is the answer, but I've been drinking it for 3 days and I miss my Coke, and and nothing changed. Well, maybe it takes a month before you're going to see.
I remember this story. I had this client. She actually lived in Spain, ordered a bunch of stuff. She had fibromyalgia, ordered it. And I said, look, when you get on this program, you will get a healing reaction. So you can slow down the intake, drink more water, just put brakes on it. But anyway, what happened was 2 weeks later, she called up and she said, I'm hurting more than I hurt before. I'm going back to pizza.
There you
This
go.
is a classic of pouring the baby out with the bathwater. You had an opportunity to work through. The natural healing, unfortunately, comes with some level of discomfort because you have to, it's called retracing. You have to go through the symptoms on your way out. So whatever terrain you experienced on your way down, you will traverse that same terrain on your way back up. It will not be as difficult and as horrendous as the downward trip, but there will be difficulties.
And I think one thing that we talk about and we need to emphasize more, Martin, is the what is healing, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, my nose is clear. I'm not coughing. My eyes aren't dripping. My ears aren't sore. I'm healed. And it's kind of like, no, everything is in some sort of balance so you don't have discomfort.
Yeah.
But once you do something and those toxins that you're holding want to come out, that looks like runny nose, coughing, eyes dripping, ears sore, however it looks like. And we go, we need to suppress this, where what we really need to do is just let it come out.
Yeah. Yeah. You're actually describing the thing that people call the flu, where when you hurt, your body aches, and you are needing to have some fever in order to purge things. That's your cells actually getting rid of toxins. Okay, so where did we get here? Okay, so we have this person looking for help. It's challenging because a lot of people are having to work in jobs that request of them to be more physically active than what they are currently capable of. So they're overdoing it and they're hurting, and it's horrendously difficult. I don't have a quick answer.
That you can't quit.
Yeah, I don't have a quick answer for that because you need to figure out a different profession or a different job, or somehow find some help somewhere that helps to carry you for the while when you need to be carried. The truth is that you can and will get better when you detoxify, fix your nutrition, fix your stagnation, and get rid of your traumatic
stuff,
whatever they are.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too is, I think, whenever anyone says they don't have time, I never use that excuse because I know there's lots of time. The question is, would you rather sit on your couch in front of Netflix, or would you like to do something about your life? So those of us that, have a hard time with the jobs that we're in, we can educate ourselves and learn other skills. We can start a side hustle. It doesn't necessarily require, there are lots of different types of side hustle, and mowing lawns as a side hustle is not one that I would recommend. But you could become a video editor or a writer or do artistic sort of things if you wanted to, and not necessarily make a fortune, but probably replace your income if you wanted to. But the choice that most people make is I'm really, really tired. I'm just like, life is bad, and I'm just going to sit in front of Netflix and veg for 3 hours and then go to bed. Right. That 3 hours, you could have spent 1 hour of it learning Spanish or learning French or learning Japanese or learning how to do something that you wanted to learn to do. And just do 2 hours of the Netflix, right? But we have these habits, and those habits are really ingrained, and it takes discipline and strength and support to be able to change it, because maybe your significant other is sitting there watching Netflix with you, right? So you need to get them on board as well.
Yeah. I guess I'll say one more thing, which is the difference between being a victim of a circumstance or being the agent of your own fate.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's
that's
obvious that things have to change. I mean, when your body's in pain, it's telling you very clearly that something's wrong. And the question is, what do you need to change to let your body fix it?
right. So who will you ask for help? Whose advice will you listen to? And will you commit to owning the outcomes of your actions?
And that's not an easy thing to do.
And yet it's required.
It's required, right? Thanks for joining us, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.